What's up, everybody? Randy Brady Arise podcast here in Hogansville, Georgia, First Baptist Church of Hogansville. We are pumped to be here. We got a lot of cool things going on. We love it. You got the usual Randall Brady,
Ashby Alford,
Gary Blanks.
Awesome. As you see, we have some of our church merch up here.
Sir.
Looking beautiful, doing awesome. We still got our bracelets. We have sold tons, and like we said before, our profits go to his place. We're going to be at his place August 6th. We're going to be at his place August 6th.
and we need some women to go with us to Hosanna's house. We're just going to be praying and giving the women some hope, and that's August 6th, I think around 5 o'clock. So if any women are interested in doing that.
Yeah, please come out.
Love
you got
it.
some outreach, doing your thing. We got August 21st. We got Arise Cruise In.
Come on.
It was so much fun. We did it this past Saturday. Not this past one, the one before that.
Right.
It was a good time. We got to speak with some people, have some fun, sell some church merch. This is what I want you to do. Share this video, 1. 2, I want you to, if you want a shirt, let me know. We'll message over and get the details worked out.
And we
get you
can
a shirt over.
customize it too. It don't have to necessarily be exactly the way we've got
Right,
it.
right, yeah.
We got you.
Yeah, any color, shade, whatever you guys want, we'll knock it out. We got a pretty cool topic today. We are talking about life after mandated meetings.
Come on.
There's several different ways about that, and I'm sitting with Gary Blanks and Ashby Alford, and both of them have been through strict mandated meetings.
Yes.
Gary, when did you graduate?
It's been 8 months.
8
September.
months. 8 months since he's graduated,
Right.
and he didn't miss a beat. I mean, being in this, we see a lot of people as soon as they graduate, they're gone,
Right.
and they may or may not come right back to the way that they were living. And you know, I'm proud of Gary for that. He actually went up when he graduated. It was insane. Gary, how'd you do that?
Well, for one thing, I've kept doing what I was doing.
That's right.
I recognized what saved me, and you know, the first thing though is my support system. I had friends that I always hung around, but changing my support system, who actually cared about me, and you know, just changing.
That was me.
Right.
I was one of the ones that cared about it. Ashby, you're still in drug court.
I am in 4 months. I've been in 4 months now.
You've been in for 4 months.
Yes.
You have your groove going. You're in the podcast. You ran a large group today, which you did great, by the way.
Thank you.
Talking about some temptation. It was great.
Thank
It
you.
was great. What are some things that I mean, and you can learn from Gary, right? I mean, what are some things that you are implementing now that are going to make sure that you're good after these mandated meetings are over?
Going to celebrate recovery. You know, I had a choice. I have choices in my meetings, and that's Celebrate Recovery AA, some other ones, and I choose to come to CR because of the awesome fellowship.
That's right.
Come on.
We're here.
Yes.
We're here.
The true, like the care, the love that is just so evident, and the reliance on God. Like, I think it's necessary. I think it's I think it's what's best for me, and getting active with things like the podcast.
Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right.
and you were mandated to the meetings, but you weren't mandated to the podcast. You weren't mandated to the large group. You weren't mandated to go to Hosanna House. You know, so there's a lot of things that you have reached out in to say, hey, I want to take this serious. I want to
Oh, yeah.
move to the next move.
Oh,
And that makes it, you know, when she does transition, a lot's not going to change for her just because she's used to this. This is her new life, and she's moving forward with that.
Exactly.
Well, we had to be willing
That's
to
right.
make that change too. You
That's
know,
right.
and you know, we got to be willing to accept the criticism, the constructive criticism
Right.
from your peers and from who you hang around, because you know, we're products of our own environment.
Yep.
We are going to be who we hang around.
Oh, yeah.
So if you change your support system to somebody who actually calls you and says, "Hey, how are you doing?" and it's not of, "Hey, what are you doing?" I know
Yeah.
you're doing this and doing
Yeah.
this. Hey,
Yeah.
how are you doing? So you know, and it's not only that. You know, these are people. The support system has to be somebody that, to me, was a light in my life that I could, you know, follow after. I can grab a hold of and follow them, and you know, and it's worked tremendously.
And I know that you guys have tons of structure in that stuff. I know that they have you guys as busy as it gets. And okay, not only CR is something that you guys have to do. Other than that, in a week or a month, how many mandated things would you have to do?
Well, in just your regular week, every week it's 2 counseling sessions. They're an hour and a half, and then it's 2 self-help meetings, and then it's you call every day, and you're drug testing 2 to 3 times a week. And so just that, and then that is a lot. And then you have people that work full time and people with kids. I mean, it's a lot.
I mean, I see that, and the reason I ask is they got you guys in a big structure there.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's resetting our priorities.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I like it, but to go from all that, Gary, this is aimed towards you. To go from all of that structure to Gary, you did good. Love you, buddy. Bye.
Right. You just let out. It's like a fish off the hook. Now I'm free. What am I going to do with my free time? And when you set reset your priorities, which sets your structure.
There you
now
go.
you have something. You have a set schedule. Like Ash was saying. With the drug court thing, I decided the first month that I was in drug court. Okay, I've got to call every morning. I'm calling every morning at 6 o'clock. My alarm clock wakes me up. That was the first thing I did was call to see if I had to take a drug test that day. If I had to take a drug test that day, everything else waited.
Right.
My job, I lost jobs because of it. It's like, no, we've got to be here at this time. Well, no, sir, I don't.
Right.
I've got to do this to get myself straight. So that was resetting my priorities on this new structure that they were setting in my life. And I had to be willing to open up to let somebody else take control of my life to show me what it is I need to be doing.
Well,
Because what I've done for the last 28 years in addiction wasn't working.
Well, I mean, at the same time, though, it kind of preps you, because a lot of, all of us are addicts. A lot of our addicts, we get into, serving God and trying to do better. And I like that, you do have to stand up for the drug court. Just drug court, you got to say, hey, no, I'm sorry. I gotta go pee. Fire me if you have to.
Right.
And that's a really good, when it comes to Christianity, I ain't working on Sunday.
No, sir.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it kind of preps you for that. That's a good quality.
Right. Well, it teaches me, how to live life on life terms.
Right.
Which, like I said, just resetting my priorities.
And
That's
after drug court, your sobriety, your recovery still has to be your priority in
Right.
order
Yes.
to continue the life that you've been living, regardless.
Right.
Well, I mean, I see, like I said, I've never been in it, but I see people in it, and they're doing awesome things. You know what I mean? Because they're getting to, like Gary said, they're redoing all their priorities. They're finally seeing how it is to live. They're moving forward, and all this is starting to happen for them. And then, when they get out, it's like, man, it's a shame. You worked so hard to get there. And then, my thing, what I would have to do, if I was in it, I feel like I would have to do this because I'm just this kind of person. I would have to start setting goals immediately. It would just be something that I would have to do.
Right. You have to put yourself in a situation where, okay, I've got something I need to focus on.
Right.
So now, if, it's like plowing the field. If you're not focused on one certain spot, your road is going to be twisted and winding.
Oh, crooked row. Yeah.
Right. So if we focus on that one keep an eye on what you're focused on, that one thing, it keeps us straight. And, it's very important to set goals.
Yeah, I mean, that I'm very, very goal oriented. I mean, I set it. This is what I'm going to do. I have my daily, weekly, monthly, 3 months.
Do you put a date on your goals?
100%.
So
100%.
Okay.
Right now, I'm losing weight. I don't know if y'all can tell. That listen, the camera adds 20 pounds. I don't care what they say. The camera adds 20 pounds. But right now, I've gotten back into the gym and working out, and I do have a date.
Right.
I have a long-term date for my little workout goal, but I also have weekly goals. I have to check in with my trainer every Tuesday, and I want to lose a certain amount of weight. I've lost 15 pounds in 2 weeks. I'm just saying, it's the camera.
Well, that's setting, these goals, these are little commitments
Right,
that we have to set in our life. That if you stay committed to this one little thing, okay, now I'm working on my self-esteem.
That's right.
So I got my priorities straight. I'm working on it. I got a hold of that. I know this is what I'm going to do. But now So now I've got this under control. That I don't even have to think about it. It just
Right.
happens second nature.
Right.
It just happens. So now I can set these little goals. You know, it's like for me, you know, in the first part of
give
drug
us an
court,
example. Give us an example.
I needed, you know, I said this in the video the other day, but I'm gonna say it again. I needed my license to get this job.
Right.
I couldn't get the
Same.
job because I didn't have my license. So now what do I got to do? All right, you know, I could have overwhelmed myself. Okay, I'm going to get my license this week. I'm going to run ragged trying to get my birth certificate up. I'm going to run ragged trying to get my social security card because you got to have one. You can't get one without the other. And I still ain't got my license yet. So then, you know, I broke it down. Okay, this week I'm going to get my birth certificate.
Right.
So now next week I can go get my social security card. All right, now I got the mail up where I live at. I can go get my license.
There you go.
Because so now, you know, and I see it looking back at it now, if I'd have got that job, I would have failed drug court because that job would have been what I was focused on.
Exactly.
You know, so it helps out.
It's important to set just the small, obtainable
Right, just commit to something
goals
little.
so you're not overwhelming yourself right there in the beginning of you got all this other stuff going on and you're fresh into recovery. You
Right.
just want to make the small goals that you know that you can accomplish and then work your way to the bigger ones.
Yeah. Well, and I said it last week. It's, you know, if your goal is way up here, right? This is where I want to be, but I'm down here. I'll be honest with you. It's going to be a lot easier to climb a staircase than it is a slide.
That's right.
Okay. And going up that, and what Ashby just said, those little obtainable goals, that sense of accomplishment.
Right,
I did it.
right. I
You
did
know,
that.
Keep you going.
A lot of millionaires say the first thing you do is wake up and make your bed. I don't know if that's true. I don't know a millionaire, but you know, but that's what they say. Like, that's your first deal. That, you know, I don't know if that's a goal or you knocked it out. You know what I mean? But I do think goals are very, very important in this. And you know, one of my main goals, I wasn't mandated. Well, let me rephrase that. I was family mandated. It was
Same difference.
gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. You better go, you better go. So I'm going, I'm doing my thing, but I started setting goals for myself. I need, because it, for me, as wild as I am, I get really bored with it, you know. So I had to, I got to
Right.
set things,
Right.
and you know, we started the podcast. I got with an awesome group of guys, and I started setting things up to get out in the community. I've never been looked at it as anything in a community other than there's that crazy kid Randy again.
Right.
And you know, I'm like, I want to get out in the community and do good things. I want to tell people about what I was 2 weeks clean, talking about. Hey, I want to tell you what I've been sober for 2 weeks, man. It's been great. They're like, what? Shut up, yeah.
Right.
But it's getting out there and getting involved. I think is huge.
Right. Well, you know, with us doing that though, is we're not hanging around the same people. We're not doing the same things. We're changing things. We're changing the people. We're changing the places, and that's what we have to keep doing. Because, like I said before, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting, and that could be a good thing or a bad thing. You know, so we have to keep moving forward and moving up. We can't, you know, stay right here.
Yep. The water analogy. As long as it's moving, it's getting purified.
That's right.
You can't sit still. You can't sit still. And of course, by being involved with your church, being involved in a recovery group, getting out there and doing things, you're avoiding triggering situations altogether.
Well, even if you do, so it's like for me, going out, I have a friend of mine that just got home from jail. We're trying to reach out to him, and I knew that I couldn't go over there by myself, because if I went over there by myself, I was going to relapse.
Right.
Well, I ended up going over there by myself, but I give myself a set time before I had a meeting to go to.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? So I already had something planned to do after I went to talk to this man, and you know, and it helps. But that's getting involved. That's pushing myself forward, because I could have sat back and said, "Oh, I got this myself. I don't need to go tell
Right.
somebody else about it." But that's the reason. That's my purpose in life now. That's why I went through what I went through. That's why I've been allowed to be tempted with what I've been tempted with, is because I've made it through it, and now I can go back and tell, "Hey, come on,
Let
we
'em
got
know.
you.
You gotta
We
let 'em
got
know.
you. You know, this is a great group of guys that we got up here. There's a great group of women that we got up here. You come
Yeah.
talk to us. I encourage you to, if you have any hurts, habits, or hangups, you know, come up here to CR.
Well,
Celebrate
and
recovery.
another thing, by you being involved with the right people and doing the right thing, it's really hard to get in a triggering event.
Right.
I mean, you have to put yourself there. I don't get invites to parties anymore, which is fine. I still love you guys, but I get it.
Can I share one that
Of
I've had?
course, of
Yeah,
course.
come on.
That I have had recently. I When I got out of rehab, I made a new Facebook. I didn't get on my old Facebook. I
Right.
had deactivated it. I haven't looked at it since, and it's been over a year.
Right.
Since I've been on there. And the other night I got curious and I hopped on there. I remembered my old password. I got on there and I didn't have any new messages because it had been deactivated. But as soon as people saw that I was online, messages just started flooding in, and I'm sure like it was people that I was talking to and involved in heavy in my addiction, and they're like, hey, where have you been, what are you doing?
Right.
And even one, hey, can you come pick me up? And I'm
Oh God,
Right, yeah.
I haven't seen you in a
Right
year, but I'm
back-
stuck in a subway.
right, and
They're still stuck
and
right
that's
where they was at.
that's
Right.
that's what I saw, and that's exactly what it was. And I said, oh my gosh, why did I do this? Click, goodbye.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't necessarily triggering, but if I were at a point, if I were at a
That would
point
be
any lower,
overwhelming. That would
It
be
It is
was.
overwhelming. Right.
It was. And just reading some of the stuff that I had said previously, oh my goodness.
Oh my! So it was shameful at that. Okay.
Yeah, if anything.
Yeah, well, I mean that would be overwhelming because I guarantee you had a feeling come over you
Oh,
of the old Ashby.
Definitely.
Right.
That
Well, I
would
mean,
be
the same
scary.
difference with me the other day going to that place where I went. You know, that was where I done a lot of my drug use.
Right.
You know, so when I left there, I was sweating, like just sweating bullets because all I could think about was the memories of the times that I was in there using.
Right.
That's
You
what
know,
that was me.
and-
I thought of
Everything come back, and then I went straight to a meeting, but I already knew that. I already had that plan. That was
Right.
my priority for the day. Was go see here. I knew what was going to happen, but I had a backup plan.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So if there's anything that I can throw at the end of this podcast is 1, have an awesome support group. 2, continue in your structure. 3, set little goals that's going to put you to your main goal. 3, get involved somewhere cool and stay out of the bad areas.
Right.
Stay out of there. Don't
Right.
get in there. There ain't nothing good for you there. There ain't
Love you
nothing
guys.
good for you at all.
Love it.
Listen, we love you. We need you. I stole that. Sorry.
Celebrate Recovery, First Baptist Church, Hogansville, 3 to
Church
5 every
merch.
Sunday.
Hit us up. Hit us up. We'll be
Yeah.
everywhere.
bracelet.
Oh, what would Jesus do bracelets?
Yeah,
WWJD.
come on,
I
come
brought
get
them
you some.
back. It's absolutely awesome. We love you guys. See you guys soon.